Before I say a single thing, I want you to do something for me first. Now, please pull out your phone and check your screen time for today. This is mine. I already used my phone for around 5 hours today. Cause yeah, there is so much thing I have to do with my phone. How about yours? Do you get your number? Well, if you already have your number now, please keep it in your mind cause I'll ask you about it later. It might change how you see things. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine when you waking up tomorrow morning, you unlock your phone and you finding out that the entire digital words on your phone is disappear. It wiped clean. No TikTok trends, no YouTube shorts, no Instagram feeds, and even no Discord server to you communicate with each other, with your classmate. Can you imagine? I think that is the worst nightmare we ever have, right? Well, actually, this is not just a hypothetical glitch. This is a reality that heading straight towards a million of teenagers in our country. The Indonesian government announced a sweeping policy which is a total ban on social media and the other online or digital platforms for everyone under 16. From TikTok to Roblox, every account will be deactivated. As a university student, we are caught right in the middle of this. We grow up exactly like all of these children. We know the addictive grip of the algorithms, but we cannot deny that the internet is a part of our lives now. We create, we learn, and even communicating with each other through this internet. This thing forces us to ask, isn't upright ban truly the best way to protecting our young people? Or are we just throwing the baby out with the bathwater? Hello everyone, my name is Yemimana Farita Otavia and I am from the Faculty of Psychology Sanata Dharma University. A few weeks ago, I found a piece of news that stopped me mid-scroll. The Indonesian government announced that starting this year, kids who under 16 cannot have account on platforms such like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and even Roblox. Our communications minister, Mutia Hafid, called it a response to digital emergency, citing pornography, digital scam, cyberbullying, and addiction. UNICEF also found that half of Indonesian children surveyed had been exposed to sexual content on social media. Half? That is a massive number. In the news, a working mother said she was relieved. She doesn't have much time to monitor everything her son does, and this takes an impossible weight off her shoulder. Well, that's the real problem, the real issue. We've been asking for individual parents to fight $1 billion algorithms completely alone. That is not a fair fight. This case reminded me of my little brother in 4th grade. I know exactly how it feels when you want it so bad to protecting someone you love from the wet internet while yourself still struggling to protecting your own. But there is another side of the story. Teenagers are pushing back hard from this policy. They say that social media isn't just entertainment. It's where they build their identity, express creativity, and even find the community. For the isolated teens, these platforms are lifeline for them. Even many teenagers in the UK who admit that social media feeds them with the brain rot say that job it's not a job for the government to take that choice away from them. Well, their feelings are completely valid. By choosing a total ban, we're treating a complex issue with a blunt instrument. Think about it, teenagers are digital natives. They know how to bypass this restriction. They know how to change their birth years. If we choose to ban all of these platforms, they will just use them in secret, ending up even darker. Unregulated corners of the web where nobody can protect them. In this digital era, telling a young person that they cannot to participate online is like telling them that they are not allowed to step outside. So, what exactly am I proposing here? Well, guys, I'm not saying that social media is evil and needs to disappear. That's not realistic. What I am talking about is safety by design, structured, age-based restriction, and collective digital literacies. If a total block or ban are too harsh and doing nothing are more dangerous, these are three things for the middle ground solution that I am asking from you. First, shift from prohibition to co-navigation. Stop treating your smartphone as your enemy. Talk to your younger siblings, cousins, or maybe your future children. Ask them what they are watching and how it makes them feel. Make digital safety an open conversation, not just a hidden taboo. Second, support policies like this, but engage with them. Put these regulations to come along with real and offline support system. We need creative program, sport, and even local community spaces. So kids aren't just losing something without gaining something better. Last, look at your relationship with these platforms. Remember your screen time number from the earlier? Don't feel guilty. Just be aware. If we, as a developed adult, still struggle to put our phones down, imagine if it's happened to our kids, to a 14 or maybe 13 years old kids. For them, that screen time isn't just a number. It's their social life, social worth, and belonging. That's all squeezed into a 5-inch screen. That's not freedom, it's a trap. Well, this isn't just a kids these days problem. It's a design problem, and it's our problem too. Because the habits we model now are the habits the next generation inherits. A total ban might feel like an instant fix, but it leaves our youth unprepared for the real world. Let's stop hitting the block button. Let's start building a safer, wiser, and supportive digital environment where our youth are not just survive but truly thrive. Talk about it, support thoughtful regulation, and most importantly, be honest with your own screen before you judge someone else. Thank you so much. That's all from me. Bye bye.